So I'm live. I'm just waiting for someone to show up. Just give me a second right now. Just checking a few things. Okay, we're back again. There's absolutely nobody here, so we're just going to wait for a minute and see what happens. Right, my live goal. My live goal. Let me see what my live goal is. Edit. I like the baseball hat. Hey, I got a few people back, right? Okay, join. Okay, give me, maybe I'm just trying to get myself back into the trend of thought, because sometimes when I lose the trend of thought, I just can't jump right back in. So how smart am I? I'm not smart at all. It's nothing to do with being smart. I'm just bringing together, I created a system that probably already, just the same way that, what the hell happened again? I cut off. Studio audio mixer in settings. Settings. Okay, let me see. Okay. So let me see. Let me see how I can fix this. Notification, support, your account, co-host, multi-live poll, subscription, team, settings. Settings. Shift, codecs compatibility, live quality. So you can't see me still, right? Wow, this is crazy. So you can't see me. I can see you can hear me, right? Right? You can hear me, but you can't see me. Okay, you can hear me, but you can't see me, right? So I have to fix this. Audio mixer. Let me see this. I have the audio here. I have the Dell. I have no sound effects. I have the microphone. I have the audio. I have the media. Okay, that's fine. Now, what's this? Sound effects. No. Enhance effects with makeup. No. And then it shows this. So I do not know how to fix this camera. I might have to cancel. Whoop, hold on a second. Studio, wait. Microphone HD micro studio audio mixer. Studio camera. Where in the world is that? Someone's got to help me. Sound check is good. Oh, pro. Let me. Okay, okay. Hold on a second. Okay, we show this here. Microphone HD Pro. Microphone default device. Microphone HD. Can you hear me now? Yes. So noise suppression, echo. Okay. What is this? Audio and microphones. Add. Wow. Sound check. This is not good, you know. Video quality. I don't have record, save path users, MP4. Okay. Advanced audio settings. Hotkeys. I don't know how to do it. Whoop, 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 whoop. It's, where did I get hot? Turn on off camera. No hotkeys. Enter your keys. I don't know what they are. Okay, I might have to restart this thing again. But before I do that, I'm gonna go to a. I lost my camera on my TikTok. How do I set it back again? Okay, let me see this. My camera closed down during a TikTok live. How do I bring it back?
Get your camera to display your image.
Just give me 1 minute.
This worked for me. Hopefully it works for you. So let's just dive into it. Let's go. TikTok Live Studio. And so what kind of gave it away for me was that I would come here, click on my camera, and I would click delete, right? And it wouldn't delete. It was still here. This is after like restarting my PC multiple times, restarting my camera multiple times. I'm like, man, something's still holding on to this process or this camera or something somewhere for whatever reason. Don't know why, but it is. So, you know, basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to come here, add source, you're kind of trying to click camera, add your camera, click your camera. And so what you're probably seeing is like either no video or you're seeing, you know, essentially like a square with an X in it, or you're seeing nothing over here. Those are pretty much your options. But then boom, here's my camera. And let me wave to you guys. Hey, the fix to get this to display, your camera to finally display, is uninstall TikTok Live Studio and reinstall it. That's all I did. And then boom.
Yeah, me too. This guy's showing me the same thing. No video signal.
Yes, this is 4 hours down the drain trying to figure this out. Like I said, restart the PC multiple times, restart the computer multiple times.
Okay, this shows me my camera. Let me see this.
Multiple times to no avail, and basically just uninstalled it and reinstalled it. I don't know how or why, but hopefully this helps you guys because again, I spent 4 hours trying to figure this out. So hopefully this helps you. Peace. Are you using TikTok Live Studio and for whatever reason you cannot get your camera to display your image? This
TikTok now has a new feature that allows us to dual live stream, meaning you're just going to click on dual camera.
Okay, so this is not good. I'm gonna have to reset.
Let me show you how to do it in your settings. Maybe you're not seeing that open settings at all. Just open your settings and you need to scroll down to Snapchat. To TikTok, sorry. So just scroll down and look for TikTok. Once you click on TikTok, you are going to see camera access right here. Once you have seen that, you need to enable your TikTok camera access. So let's try to use our camera again. And can you see the camera is now working? So let's say you're not even getting the access camera option at all, and you head over to your settings and you're not seeing camera at all there, let me show you another thing you can do. So head over to settings again, scroll down to general, click on iPhone storage, and you need to wait for this to load. Once it has loaded, you need to scroll down and look for TikTok. Just click on your TikTok and you need to upload your TikTok.
I just can display camera.
It's going to keep the documents and data
Okay.
so you don't need to worry about that.
See this, I take this off. I don't want to close it yet. I want to no video signal. No video signal. Why is there no video signal? I know if I put on, let me see. Let me see this. Yeah, I got a signal here. Why am I not getting a signal here?
Just open your settings and do it in the place I show you earlier in this video. This place. Just enable it. So just try all the things I listed in this video and your camera should start working on your Snapchat. If you found this video helpful, smash the like button and subscribe.
No, it's not picking up my camera. Display capture, what is that? No. Goal, alert, no. Alert, no. Chat box, no. Display capture, no. Image, no. Gameplay 2. No. Gameplay 1. Okay. Okay, hey. Wow, it's back working. For whatever it is, I'm just so happy it's back working. Oh my God. Not very happy about this. I'm going to get my coffee in the kitchen. Going to be back in a minute. It shows that there's just one person here, and that's just fine. That's usually the way it goes with I've been doing this for 20 years, and if I get 10 people out, I don't want to tell you that it's a very tough subject. If you're coming here for the first time, I'm not sure if I should begin to explain to you what A, B, C, D is all about. Hey, Keaton, are you real? Are you fake? I don't know who's real, who's fake anymore, but I'll tell you one thing. I do know that I'm real. I'm doing what I have to do and expand myself into the aether, into the wind, into the sky. I'm walking. Look at me walk. It's funny, I just brought this cup here. I'm taking a 1-minute break before I begin. I would like you to ask me what you think. I would like you to tell me, right, what you think it's about. I watch quite a few videos on TikTok and through lives, and I see what everybody does. Everybody's trying to entice a discussion or an argument and something like that. I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to get into any arguments. It's an argument is an uncompromised way of discussing. You see something, what you see your way, as you're your own entity. If you're a pliers, you're going to put your pliers on things pliers go on to. If you're a bolt and I'm a screw and this is a nut, the nut will go onto the bolt. The screw goes right into the wall and locks in itself. It doesn't need that extra support for the lock. In the system we run, right, if I would run around this little circle here, I can go around this circle, right, 25 times, and I'll only be going around this one twice. We see circles on here, but if you go down to if you play games and you roll these and it lands, they look at this and they go, look, circles. How many do you see? 6. So they're always referring to this as number 6, and they refer to this as number 4. And refer to this as number 1. So 6, 4, 1, and 3. And 3, 5, 4, and 2. And 6, 2, 1, and 5. And 5, 4, 3, and 2. And it's not magic. At the same time, when you're looking at this cube, it's 1 and 8. It's 4 and 5. It's 6 and 3. It's 3 and 6. It's 2 and 7, the house of bait. it's 4 and 5. It's 5 and 4. And where do I get this information? Well, I'm going to show you where I get that information. Sorry about that. Many people joined. It only shows one. It shows 105 likes, but it shows that one person is here and many, many, many joined. Keaton, are you still here? A lot of joining. I wonder what that really means. I mean, everybody is waving, you know. Can I wave back to everybody? How do I wave back to everybody? Right? So I don't know. Anyway, I have no idea what these things are. So I'm going back to the kitchen for 1 second, taking a 1 second break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about more about this. We're going to talk more about this. All the information that's inside of this. And have you ever heard of Chai? 18 Chai? This is 8 and 18 Chai. It's also one area of 9 or 19, bringing two systems together. 9/11, the birth inside the sun system. ABC, Jackson 5. This and this together. Or if you prefer, I'll take out the numbers on my phone, or a little bit different from the ATM or on my keyboard. Do you want the straight line of 10? Would you like to understand what the straight line of 10 really is? 3, 6, and 9 are unlike the other numbers. Number 7 is unlike the other numbers. Number 5 and 2 are different from the other numbers. It's just so ironic what 5 does. 5 cuts everything in half. And if it was time, it'd be 30 minutes. So wait a second, is 5 half or is 30 half? I don't know, but we have to make everything work inside the metrics of the matrix, right? We have to have all that conversion of the transmission, the differential. We have to have the separation while movement is happening to change the gears. So we end up with a clutch. We end up with the motor. We end up with the power steering in the front, and everything is transformed. We need to cool everything down. We are the fleshy robotics living in the system. We need to keep things cool in order for this to communicate. Somewhere in the world, it's getting really hot because the more information you have to save, the hotter everything. Okay, so let me see. Okay, this is good. Somehow I'm back. Somehow I'm back. Oh my God. Okay, wow. This is just, I gotta make sure I don't touch the camera. This is just horrible. How can you keep an audience? I think there's one person watching and it just might be me. Say hi, oops. Say hi, oops, joined. I have no idea who joined. Wow, I don't even know where I am. Let me just catch up to this. Okay. How about taking this into the effect? Has anybody ever seen the Star of David? Well, have you ever thought of this? This one over here? See the way we have one of the triangles going to the center of this 3 area over here? And then, right, the center. And then we have what is going in between the 3 areas. So if we have 6, right, and there's a total of 9, where is that in between area of 9, right? We have 12 or we have 6 proportionately shared areas. You notice the way the diamonds connect each of the sides together? You notice we can connect here, here, and here. So this is going to connect the 3 and the 3 and the 3 onto this side. So you're going to connect 3, 6, 9, and the major that connects 3. So again, you're going to connect one here, and this is going to go to another system. This one will go to the other system. So we're going to connect this system together, right? This is the, let's say this should have been a little bit bigger. Could I have added in another one to this? If you notice, there's only 6 here, right? Should I have added in another one to this, or should it only have been 6? So this 6 will connect to another 6, right? Here. And then it'll connect to another 6 here. And then it'll connect to another 6 here. So this is going to connect to 36 and 6. 42. 4 times 2, 4 plus 2 is what divides the gate. Separation into the 7th gate between 2 dies. What to die for? What to die for? What to die for? 4, 2. 4 times 2, 4 plus 2 equals to 8 and 6. Yes, now we're doing a little math, but after we're also going to add the alphabet into it on what, where the alphabet can be found in numbers. Is it gematria, which is one way of counting? Gematria only goes, there's many gematrias now. There's many numeric systems. I don't know them all. I just work with a few. I really don't do much in Chaldean. I just know that FP in Chaldean, in what is 6 and 16, 2 different levels of the F, right, is OZ, Oz, which is also 77, Oz. And that is not pause, I said Oz, and that's 77, which is also noted to be power. It's also noted to be matter. It's also noted to be CHR 1ST or 15T, which is the Christ. Now, when you see 5 and 1 and then 1 and 5, what does it mean, that difference between 5 and 1 and 1 and 5? Between 2 and 1 and 1 and 2? Between 1 and 2 and 2 and 1? Now, I'm just throwing a lot of things around, showing you what I work with, right? Just showing you a lot of things around. Just like number 71. 71 minutes is 1 hour, 11 minutes. So 71 minutes and 71 minutes is 2 hours and 22 minutes. And then another 71 minutes is 3 hours and 33 minutes. Now you've completed your first ABC primary. Once you get to the next level, the 4th time 71 minutes, you have completed the coin and have turned the coin to the other side. ABC6. D10, 1 plus 0 equals to 1. We flip to the other side. Now, what backs up my story that I flip to the other side is that when you go to roulette and you take a look, I hope my camera doesn't turn off now. When we go to roulette, right? and we take a look at 36 numbers, right? What happens in these 36 numbers over here is that, let's start here. Here, 1, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 9 and 12, okay, are both red. And then we go over here to 14. But what happens here is 1, 4, 7, 10. 1 plus 0 equals to 1, but it's a different color. Then we go to 19 over here, and 1 and 19 are both red, where 10 and 28 are both black over here. So it's showing me that the colors in roulette are being changed between red and black and black and red. And then that's one of the reasons for this design. And that's one of the reasons for this design doing what it's doing. So what does it mean, Momo 2 and Mary Kim? What is that over there? Are those, what is that? How does that work? Anyways, okay. So we're going to get back to that 3 and 4, you know, that 3 and 4. So the reason for this, it's all 9s, right? It's all 9s. Rubik's Cube has a 9 face. So this area here is going to be, this area here, right, is going to be that area there. So when you see 1, you see 8 that go around. When you see the number 2, right, you're going to see the number 2? Well, when you see the number 2, this 5 area is now joined to the dark area, to the void, together. There are 7 numbers together, 3, 1, 3. Don't remember that. I mean, don't forget that you're 3, 1, 3, right? Because we shift by 1 and we count by 3s. Up and down by 3s, across by 1. The calculator is this way. Whoop, the calculator is this way. Whoop, the calculator is this way. So they all change the numbers. They're constantly moving. So we're just working with the dots. Does that mean the 1 is always here, the 3 is always here? We can switch these dots around. This is just a skeleton. This is just a skeleton base. But 7, 9, 3, and 1 move. They move around. They move around, and there's 4 different areas that it moves around to. And if you want to look at it, mark up Rubik's Cube, and you'll see how it moves around. Okay? So we have this Rubik's Cube, and I spoke to it, and I'm going to just go over it again. So this Rubik's Cube, okay, has 54 areas on it. 6 faces of 9. Of 6 colors, in which the core, right around this area here. Now, I wish I had Rubik's Cube with me. But the core over here of Rubik's Cube, this area here, this area here, this area here, and this area here, these 4 areas, if you notice, the only time you'll ever see anything there is when you're with the 6. But when the 6 is this way, you see, I got something here, but I have nothing here. And when the 6 is this way, I got something here, and I have nothing here. Holding it this way, I can draw, because of the dot there, if I drill all the way through, I come out this end over here, and I can draw the I, or I can draw the Z on this one. I and Z come to this one. So the 9th letter and the 26th letter are 9 and 8 come together. But if I moved it this way, it'll be the H. So let me write this down. Oh, this pen is no good. IZ 9 and 26, or H and N equals to 8 and 14. This equals to 35. and this equals to 22. Life is 22. Did you know what happens at 22? Well, if you're 12 and you get a monkey, you're at 22. If you're playing the game of blackjack, the game of 21. So we now know that a monkey somehow gets its representation by 10. 1 and 9, 10, 7 and 3, 10, 6 and 4, 10, 8 and 2, 10. That's 40. Where do we get this from? Well, that's the face of this. Now this, in actuality, since it's 9, we'll have 9 on this side, and then 9 on this side. That's 18. But when you look at this cube, you only see 2. And then you look at this, you see 5. So you go ahead, where you see 2 and 5, equaling to 7, where it is supposed to be a 9 area and a 9 area, equaling to 18. When you take 7 away from 18, you end up with 11. Now the thing is, it happens on all 3 sides. So now when we pick it up and look at it, we are going to have 2 and 5, 5 and 2. We are going to have 1 and 6, 6 and 1. And then we're going to have 3 and 4. So I have to show you the 4 and the 3. So when we have 3 and 4, we have 9 on every side. 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. When we have 3 and 4, we have 5 and 6, 11. When we have 1 and 6, we have 8 and 3, 11. By the way, 8 and 3 is monkey. This is the greatest spread you can get between the center core of this cube, which happens to be 3.5. The separation between 1 and 3.5 is 2.5. And the separation between 6 and 3.5 is 2.5. Number 25 equals to Jack. Jack is also known to be a plug-in with a lot of colors. It's a telephone line by 235, right? BCE, 235 times 2 equals to 47. So I have to write this down and explain it in a minute. 3.5, which is 1 plus 2.5, and 6 minus 2.5, to where I said the 25th letter is Y, right? And then we get, let me just mark this down, 2 plus 1.5, and then 5 minus 1.5 equals to 3.5. I don't want to move my camera around, so that's why I'm doing it this way. Whoop. And then what happens in this scenario, right? Number 83, first of all, is monkey, right? Monkey or birth is the 9 position, right? Our birth is noted to be as 9. Remember, we are just the children of the Creator. So our birth is at 9. So monkey equals to 11. Monkey happens in blackjack, which is the game of 21, where ace equals to 11. When you get that monkey, 10, you bust in blackjack. And when you bust, the bust is at 22. It just so happens that the numeric value of 22 is ape. 83, which is your creation of your cube. This is your base creation of your cube. When you have 1, you're 2.5 away from 3.5. When you have 6, it's 2.5 away from 3.5. The letter Y, the 25th letter, equals to 7. Earth is number 52, equaling to 7. 25 years to life, the jail sentence. J representing the 10 worlds. In between, at 10.5, right? In between 10.5, 3.5 times 3 for the cube equals to 105. It says just like I am, but it says it in French. Je. It also says game. Okay, So I'm just trying to see where else I was going with this. Yes. So O is the 15th letter. Well, 5 and 2, which is the numeric value for Earth, happens to create what the O is. O is also noted to be water. O is also noted to be 360. O is also be noted as a number 9 or 90 for the reason that it goes all the way around, right? When you go all the way around, you're going to have 4 sides. Make it square, right? Let's not take out the center. We're going to create the biggest dimension. The inside of it, we can create a diamond on the inside, right? Or a diamond on the outside, a diamond and a square on the inside and the outside to break down this O. With this Y over here, it'll be 3 times 120. So if it's 3 times 120 for the Y and it's Earth, Earth number 52, 7, and 4 times 90 for 360 degrees, because that's what I'm looking for. 3 by 120 is 360, and 4 by 90. Mars gets the birth 90. The 1.5 away from 3.5, the center of the cube. 6, 7, and, hold on a second, 7 and 2. And it, outside of that is what? Is 8 and 1. 7 and 2. Here, 8 and 1, 7 and 2, 6 and 3, 5 and 4. And that's your inside of your funnel of your numbers. So we're going to see the cube as 33, 3 times 3, 3 plus 3, equaling to 9 and 6, your 9 birth to your 6th day of life, or the touchdown coming down onto this planet. Again, number 2 and 4, dividing of the 7th gate. I'm going to show you that, how 666 and 888 come together and say Fox headquarters. There was something else I was talking about in here. It's the hand of God. It was mentioned that 105 or 3.5 times 3 is the hand of God, because there's only 3 opposite sides and everything meets at 3.5 in the center. It just so happens that 8 times 3.5 equals to 28 for the 28-day cycle of the moon, or 4 times 7 equals to what is 28 to the 28-day cycle of the moon. Did I get that right? 4 times, 7 times? No, there was hold on, one second. 8 times 3.5 equals to, right, no, it's 6 times 3.5. And the other one is 7 times 3.5. Again, the difference between Mars, 21 dots on the cube. And this one comes out to, no, it was 8. Sorry, it was 8 times 3.5. I got that one right. To equal to the 1 ounce. An ounce is also noted to be 11 when they say it in French. 6 and 8 is the dividing gate, and I'm going to show you how that works. Let me see if I got a couple of dice cubes in my pocket. I just so happen that I do have a couple of dice cubes. Now this and this and this are all the same, and they're the basic alphabet. We count up to G. We stop at 7. This cube doesn't go any higher than 9. We never use any more than 7. If I drilled a hole through all of this, I don't really have a set format of how I'm showing off what's going on. I'm just throwing it all out there for now, and hopefully one day we can come up with a format on how I can explain everything and how everything seems to come together and actually does come together because I'm using the math, right? So we spoke about Y and O. Yo! When you go down to the casino and you play the game of craps, yo, 11, 7 come 11, 7 come 11. Well, here you go, 7 come 11. That's what these cubes say. It's not said for nothing. If nobody's seen this before, if somebody has, please explain it to me, because for me, that's how I see it. Again, I will show you. Every face is a 9. Every face is a 9. Forget about what you see. Every face is a 9. I'm the one who cuts the die. I cut the die, I give it to you. You have to put dots. You only have 6 You only have 6 dots you're going to put. You're going to put 1 over here. There's 8 missing. Every side is a 9. You're going to know if there's 9 here and there's 9 here, that's 18. But you drilled out 6 and 1, 7. 18 minus 7 is 11. 7 come 11 on all 3 sides. Even when you spin this, when I said before that 3 makes everything perfect and after that it breaks up, right? Even when you count on this cube, right? When you go 1 and then you go over to 2 and then you go to 3, you see the way I just turned the dice 45 degrees? Is that 90 degrees, right? But if I have to go from 3 all the way to 4, I must go 1, 2. I must move 180 degrees when I'm going from 3 to 4. It's not the same as just going 90 degrees from 1, 2, 3. So just like 1, 4, 7, 10, when I get to 10, everything flips over again, starting with J for Jesus, right? J, E. In the 10, in the creation of 10 in the E world, which is the heart of this, which is the holder of 1 of the 9 birth, in the 8 heaven that surrounds it. 1 and 8 come together. And also when you're counting, right, if you go up 1, 1 plus 1 equals 2. Now there's 8 around it. So if you went 1 plus 1, you're going to go 8 and 8. Now 8 and 8 is 16. Oh my God. But it only actually went up 1 realm. 8 now becomes a realm. So let's look at it this way. 8 plus 8 is 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. What happened? Instead of having 8, I now have 7. So if I go 8, 8, 8 is 24. 2 and 4 is 6. I went down 2. Is the same thing as me going 1, 1, 1 equals to 3. I went up 2. So now we know it's actually mathematically perfect. When we work with 2, I go 2 plus 2 is 4. The opposite of this, or the blank in here, is 7. 7 and 7 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5. I went from 7 to 5. I went down 2, and 2 went to 4. So let's look at the third realm of 2. I think I wrote this down yesterday. So when I go to 2, the third realm over here is 6. When I look down over here, it's 3. So what happened here? I went from 7 all the way down to 3. That's 4. I went 2 up to 6, and that's 4. Even if I run it all the way down to here, what happens here? 2 went into 5, and that's a difference of 3. 7 goes into 4, a difference of 3. Why do I get these numbers? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 12, 1 and 2 is 3. 14, 1 and 4 is 5. 16, 1 and 6 is 7. 18, 1 and 8 is 9. And 20, 2 plus 0. The house of Venus, bringing on the 7th gate in the creation of your 6th man. 3, 6, and 9 are not the same. If you notice, my rotation in 1 needs 10. My rotation in 8, counting down to a single digit, needs 10. My 2, counting to a single digit, were 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Were 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 4 and 2, 6. 49, 4 and 9, 13, right? 13, remember that. Remember this 4, remember this 1, remember this 7. We run 7 months, 4 months, and 1 month in our calendar cycle. How all the numbers move for each other in perfect sequence, in perfect harmony. Now when I bring the last one in here, the 4 in here with the 5, if I go 4 times 4 is 16, 1 and 6 is 7, 4 by 5 is 20. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one up 3, this one down 3. It's always going to work out perfect. Yes, it's true. This word over here equals to 47. Right? Don't forget it's in our cycle. This word here equals to 74. Energy and cross is also equal to 74. It just so happens that when we work in full formation, 9 times 74 is 666. 9 times 47 is 423. That's our earth vibration inside of 666. The difference between these two are 243 creates the same thing. This is your gateway within creation. Each one of these are going to explain something different. And our creation is here. Earth and Mars, the 3rd and the 4th planet, all created from Venus. If you do notice that on the 3, There are 2 on the outside, 1 on the inside. Here, there's only 1. It lives with 8 on the outside, or actually what is to be known 420. They're different. They're not the same. You cannot associate them the same. 1 and 9 is 10, and 7 and 3 is 10. That's 20. 4 and 6 is 10. 2 and 8 is 10. That's 20. Those are your 20s. 1, 7, 3, and 9 are 20. Just like 8, 6, 2, and 4 are 20. When you're crossing over each one of these times connecting your 10s, you never count the 5. That's 4 times you won't count the 5. 4 times 5 is 20. That's the letter T. The reverse of T is G. So we're going to do this. I'm going to show you this, right? And that's the 5 area. The 4 times you cross over the 5 area. So you have 20T, right, which is 7G. Passing over the 5th area. The reverse of that is 22. So if you take a look at that, you actually get, and they say T minus counting because our countdown is here in 4 different places. When you have your 420 as a gateway, right, 4 times 2, 8, 4 plus 2, 6. This cube, okay, when you put all the cubes together, it is 888, 666, 666, 666, 666, 666, and then one more 888. It's actually 8 of these and 2 of these, but we're not going to show the whole thing. I'm going to show it to you now. The reverse alphabet of T is G. The reverse alphabet of V is E. And this is how we get 5GTV. Just to note that the 5G in number 57 equals to moon. The number 75 equals to electric. In star math, right, what I call star math is the addition and the multiplication. In the addition, I like to put Mars over here. And in the multiplication, I want to put Earth. You see the way the X can be created in one area, yet this one needs 4 separate domains? That even when you create the surrounding, I like to call it, it's not Earth, it's Earth Mercury. It goes like this, and this is a 3 by 3 area. Let's call it 33 in rotation of 96. You can never bet more than 1. Roulette rules when you put a chip down. You can get 6, you can get 12, you can get 18. Different ways to put chips down are dictating to me what I can do and what I can't do. Right? This one is Mars. It's a 2 by 2 area. It's a window. Since I always need 4, window is 88. This is ape. And this is present in here, over here. Here's your first window. And then you're crossing windows. And here's your next window. And then here is your next window. We can get 4 of these inside to the 9 here. So we will end up with 16 inside of 9, and we end up with this word over here. It just happens to be 4 to the power of 2 and 3 to the power of 2, which is your 3 and 4, your Earth and your Mars coming together. 2 systems coming together on the right. When I said we're counting A, B, C equals to 6 and B, C, D equals to 9, that when I do A, B, C, D, it equals to 10. It's 2 systems. So we're going to have the 1 and 9. We're going to have the 1 and 8, right? From the cube, we're going to have the 1 and 8 equal to 9. We're going to have the 2 and 7 equal to 9. We're going to have the 3 and 6 equal to 9. We're going to have the 4 and 5 equal to 9. So when that happens, right, we're going to just make a little block here of 9. Put the center over here. Take a look at my guidance counselor. I don't like to use this. I want to start with 1, 2, 3, but I'm going to start it this way. And 1 is here, right? And 9 is here. Okay, here is 8. So we're going to go 1 and 8. Over here, we are going to go 7 and 2, 4 and 5, and then over here 3 and 6, and we don't do this area, so if you notice, we did this. Now we're going to do 11. Right? 2 and 9. Well, I'm going to do it upside down. 2 and 9, 3 and 8, 5 and 6. Did I get that right? Yeah. And 7 and 4. So when I do this, I get 2 and 9, I get 3 and 8, I get 5 and 6, I get 4 and 7. I end up doing this. I created the same Xe sign. Same thing, just different sides. This whole formation is going to tell a different story. I'm going to get to that in a minute. We did electric moon. How does this become? This becomes the male and the female, the 12 and the 13. But let me show you something else with that number, right? Since we're on that number, is that 5,775. If we had to count that in years, and I had to count 13 moons per year, okay, I would have 75,075. 7 and 5 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 7 and 5 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. In rotation of the sky pass of Christ. Christ in power is 77. 5775, if you were looking at this over here, 575. Remember we talked about 17 before, or 71 in the previous video. This, remember, everything live will end in 43 seconds. Okay, we have to wow, they wanted to stop my live. What inactivity? What inactivity was there? So anyways, let me get on. We have, this is number 17 over here. We always need 3 for a base, right? 1 between 2, that's my base, right? So 17 times 3 equals to 51. You can say the puck, but we're going to say Mars. I like to say Mars, and Mars is plural, and it goes into many places in here, goes into many dimensions in here. So we had this, 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 5 is 35. And when we add this together, it's 47. The beast and time. Half of this is 235, or how about BCE? Something to do with a bell, C, and enterprise, or entity. 23.5, I think, is the Earth tilt. The numeric value for time is 47. It's also 74 for energy. And as we've seen on the last page, right, not on this page here, that when we come to 7 and 4, it is what is connected to 2 and 5. It's within the void of 2 and 5. And that 25th letter would be Y for Earth. It would be 120 times 3. This would be the hockey game. This would be on ice. So I do get that number. It would also be blue and number 34 because cold blue in the shower. Blue is number 40, but cold is number 34. It's just ironic how hot is 43 and cold is 34. So they usually talk about blue and red, right? So we're going to talk about red is number 27 and blue is number 40. House of Bait in the star system. That 40 could possibly be your 7 and 3 10, your 1 and 9 10, your 4 and 9 10, your 8 and 2 10, in which we're not going to count all the numbers at the same time, right? I want to get back to this one here too. We're not going to count the numbers at the same time, but I'm going to get back to that. In order to connect this 5775, we are going to have to put a block over here. Remember, odds and evens, right? 6 is going to be where Mars is. And we're going to put a 6 here and a 6 here. The 6 will connect your 5775 Now you have 66. So where is 8, 9, 10? The 8 goes right over here and locks in 66 to the 7th gate, where 6 is also connected to the two worlds, the E world, right? I'm just trying to remember what else was inside of this. The word freedom equals 66, and woman equals 66. And I'm going to show you on a base system where else we can find these numbers of 66, right? Or 55 is sky pass. We only have 1, 7, but it's 5 to 7, then 7 to 5. Should I be making this larger or different? I don't know right now. I did mention we're going to come up with this. And why do I get 4 when I only get one of these? The reason for that, first of all, there's 2 different scenarios, and I just remembered one of them. It's this. Here's the number 9. And here's the number 6, which looks like the percentage sign, right? I have 1, 2, 3 lines. That's hexagon. If I want to lock it up, I create the next connecting line over here, and now I lock it into the octagon. And now this can no longer spin because there's a blocker inside. And when you say octagon 8 and you get a blocker, you get a stop. You get a stop, you get red. You get a red, you get number 27, but you also get hot 43. So now you get repossession, Republican repossession. Inside of this. This is where 6 and 8 are creating a difference. And they create that difference over here with 6 and 2. When you have 6 and 2, you have 1 and 5. When you have 3 and 3, you have 4 and 4. When you have 2 and 4, you have 5 and 3. That'll be electric company. This will be a cap. I'm going to explain it to you in a second. This is where your dividing gate of 6 and 8 comes in, right here on that number. What that number does is, if you want to know who's controlling the gear, we want to go to the number 1 controlling the 8, in which the 8 is 420s, which only happens when we get to 80, because that's how the French say it. I have to understand what the French say. I have to understand my numbers, right? And I'm not the final word, right? Not the final word here. This is very special. This is bronze. Bronze is for 3. Bronze is in creation. There are 2 times bronze. When you get the sports, right? The team that won the gold beat a bronze, and the person who won the silver beat a bronze. Because gold and silver are both first and second. We don't know who the other teams were. So inside of what were 4 teams, we had gold, silver, and bronze twice inside of 4. This is where we get our 10 world. A, B, C, and D. We have the plaquette, right? I got 3 sides, right? I got 3 sides. Let's just take it at 3 sides. When you have 3 sides, let me just do this very, very lightly. When you have 3 sides, this side touches that side touches that side. But you put a floor on this, and that bottom floor touches all the sides. So you end up with 4 sides. So you have to, how many combinations do we have? We're not going to talk about it. What this does is, because the moon electric, right, is 5775, is what happens is 5 and 5 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 7 and 3 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. If I went 10, 10, I create a crossover. I get to use the center button. And then we can measure all the way around. 2 systems, 2 circles. 1 circle, 2 circles. We now get that I in between right over here. We also connect, you see these X's over here by them crossing, telling us automatically not only about the crossing, but also about a gateway. because although the X is a 10 in Roman numerals, in which looks like an hourglass, which is represented by the number 8, is also the 24th letter. The 24th letter reverse alphabet is reverse of 3C. After you get to C, right? After you get to C, once you get to D, you flip onto the other side. So X 24 and C equals 27. To when you flip it over to D and W 27, it flips between D and W and C and D. We're on the other side of the cube or something. I don't really know which way to say this right now. When I come out of my zone, I tend to not properly. I think I'm improperly possibly explaining it. But we have to bring what I understand by how things work in motion is I have to bring everything down to what the cycle of our time is, not the Mayan cycle, right? Which worked as 13, 7 and 6, 13, 9 and 4, 13, or 8 and 5, 13, to where we run the other part of the Mayan cycle, 1 and 6, 7, to 4 and 3, 7, to 5 and 2, 7. 7 and 13 equals to 20, and it equals to the grindstone of the 20 numbers working in 7 and 13 parts inside the Mayan grindstone. I'm not really sure how to say that word. It seems like there's 1,000 people joining. No one's saying anything at all. And it just says 2 people are here. So I have no idea what that means. Encourage your viewers to send gifts and thank them for support. I want to thank everybody for the support, but the support we need is for ourselves. We need to know that who we are, and I believe by me sharing sharing my vision will bring truth, that the good Lord, the Creator, may it be it of 8th it is. Hard to say because I rather say it as in letters than in putting a consonant. I like to use anyways, I like to call it 8th. 8 is a very special number. Very, very special. All the kinds of 8s, 0 and 8, and 2 and 6, and 1 and 7, and 3 and 5. They're all telling different stories because 3 and 5 in the star system, it's not 3 plus 5, 8. What about 3 times 5? 15, 15 plus 8, or 15 minus 8? That's where the 15 ball and the 7 ball come in being burgundy in the game of pool. In English, when you say 8, it finishes with a T. But if you say 8th, it finishes with TH. But you don't have to add on that T. When you say 18th, you're not saying TEEN. It's just adding on EEN. So you're holding off with 8. You're saving 20. So 8 already includes that value of 20. So it's already connecting to the 7th gate. The reverse alphabet of 20 is 7. And when we do the alphabet shuffle, or the alphabet, let me just say, when we bring the alphabet into the heart of everything, we bring the 26 letters into the heart of 36, A becomes 6, or the invert to the cube, and Z becomes 31. We end up with 6 and 31, okay, which is 78, and that's a gateway through Q17, 1 times 7, 1 plus 7. All the numbers are multiplied, okay, and added. And then they're subtracted from each other to know your highs and your lows. And I like to do it 3 times, 4 times, because that's how everything seems to work out. 3 and 4 times, 3 and 4 times, and then we do it to the end of the cycle. But the base, everything, and the average of the beat is between 3 and 4. The same thing as this cube. So let me show you a little bit further down the line. So what happens between 6 and 8, and we showed 6 and 8 over here, is that we're also looking at that since this is 6 and 2, we also have to remember, what about the void? The 1 comes with an 8 void. The 6 comes with a 3 void. The 2 comes with a 7 void. The 5 comes with a 4 void. So now we have 8 and 4, 12, and 7 and 3, 10. To where over here, the 3 comes with a 6 void, and the 4 comes with a 5 void. So we're going to have, we're going to do this twice like we did here. So we're going to do this like this, and we're going to get 12, and we're going to get 10. Because we're calculating the same thing. It's always 12 and 10. Right? And 12 and 10 will end up doing this. Will be 1 and 3. That's the birth into the gateway, 13. The male 7. The reason for that is in star math, and I'm going to just maybe turn a few pages. In star math, the 12, okay, is going to be 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 equals to 3 and 2, or 2 and 3. And the 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 will equal to 3 and 4, or 4 and 3, equaling to 5, equaling to 7, equaling to E, equaling to G, and now you have 5G. You have 5G TV because of the reverse alphabet from G and E. You've heard of them before. And just to note that the G, okay, the G also, when it's done on square paper, in the quadrille paper, also looks like a 6, although it's the 7th letter, bringing Earth and Mars together, as at the same time, it looks like this. It's talking about all 3 of them at the same time, and it's connecting them together in the transition. Now, what goes between 5 joining 8? Well, we're going to take a look at this, right? We're going to take a look at this. What joins 5? Well, here's 2 and 3, 5, right? So now we're going to, I'm running out of paper. So here we go to 2 and 3, 5, right? And on the other side of this, what do you think we're going to see? That's right, 5 and 4, 9. Unless I pick it up and I'm wrong, 5 and 4, 9. So then what we're going to do is we're going to go 6 and 3, 9, right? We're going to go 6 and 3, 9. And we're going to turn it over, and we're going to get 4 and 1, 5. So that's going to be 5 is opposite of 9, and that's right. 9 fits in right over here. This is where 9 fits in. Sorry, yes, 9 fits in right over here. 7 and 9. Now, they're very special numbers together, the 7 and 9. They're very, very special, these numbers. Extremely special. Okay? One of the reasons they're special is because I say they're special, but I'm going to say it. Wow, I've been all over the place. There's so much information that I have to share. Now, whether it's going to mean anything to you today or say, scratch your head and tomorrow you're going to say, this made some sense and that made sense, but I can't figure out anything because there's no format to my work right now. There's just a ton of information with no format. Right? So, and I know I'm going to have to repeat this again. So where else was I going with this? Wow, I sort of just lost myself in this truth. Yeah, sorry. Yes. Okay. So when we get back with this, the male sex organ happens to be number 63. The female sex organ just so happens to be 54. The two of them together, right, between 63 and 54 equals to a total of 117. That 117 is equivalent to this cube. Does anybody know why? It's equivalent to this cube because this entire cube is 711. There's 18 here, but there are 7 punched out, equaling 11. There's 18 here with 7 punched out, and there's 18 between these two sides. If I did it this way, 18 here, 18 here, 18 here, 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 and here. But the punch out is 3 and 4, 7, to 5 and 2, 7, to 6 and 1, 7. And that's your 7 and 9. Not only is that only 7 and 9, but when you, give me a second here, let me get to the telephone here. right here. When you look at this, right, you see 4 letters, and you see 4 letters. But what happened is when you go to the ATM, right, when you go to the ATM, right, the Q, see that Q, right, that's on the 7 key. So we're going to have to take this to a few pages, right? You got the Q and the Z, right, are now on the number 1 of the ATM. Q is 17. 1 plus 7 equals to 8. Z, 26. 2 and 6 equals to 8. 88, T20, R18, U21. M13, P16. 38, 48, 59, 69, 70, 71, 72. 88, or 4 times 22. Ape, bust, monkey. How about Bam Bam? Right? How about Bam Bam? This is it. We also have what is window? 88. And one thing that's ironic about window is when you get A, B, C, D of the dice, 4 sides, A, B, C, D, 4 sides, right, equals to 10. So you can get window 10. When you only have 2 sides left, the 5 and the 6, right, E and F equals to 11. You have window 10 equal to 11. You have 98 and you have 99. Our basic creation, 9 times 9, 81. 9 plus 9, 18. 1 plus 8, 1 plus 8 equals to 8. 1 times 8, 1 plus 8 equals to 9. 1 plus 8 equals 1 plus 8 equals to 9. 1 times 8 equals to 8. Now we come on to this. It's high Q, and if you just want to do it properly, you put a 5 here, and you put a 2 over here. Now you put a 5 over here, right? And you put a 2 over here. Then you do it again down over here. And once you do that, you'll notice I put all 2s and 5s, which is B and E, like into the nest, into the 7th gate, the hive. And over here, what's going to happen is you're going to have an H and an I. The H is going to separate between, the I is going to separate between 2 sides, and the H is going to hold down the ground and hold up the roof for the heavens of birth. Birth equaling to 57, and I think heaven without the S equals to 55. Your sky pass. 6, 14, and 22 is 36, 41, and 14 is 55, and birth. Notice the TH that goes over here, unlike the word that goes like this, or some words that begin with T or H and end with T, like in H-E-A-R-T, heart, in the ear, the H and T within the ear. You know, if you ever put the T together, right, with H, it would have to begin at 4th. Not TH doesn't begin to 4th because it's 1st, and then it's 2nd, and then it's 3rd, and then it's 4th. But on A and B, when we begin, if we just add an A over here, it would say stand. And then what are we standing on? We're standing on our 3rd creation, on our bronze. And after that, it's 4th. And 4th will last all the way up to 20th. And when it ends at 20th, right, you began on a 4 and you ended up on a 2 on 420. The creation of the 10 heaven. Separated by 1 cube, right? You separate it by that 1 cube. You have 1 in the center, right, of the 18 that go around. But even though there's 18 that go around this, right, we still have to add on the corners, which is 8, right? Because it's your corners that encapture your 10s, right? Right? We have 2 and 8 here, 4 and 6. But your corners are 7 and 3, 10, and 9 and 1, 10. Everything crossing through number 5, making it T minus counting. I hope I said that properly. And here's your bricks when Moses, right, was putting up the bricks. Right? You ever hear that story? So farmers, Pharaoh, the land, and Moses went to see Pharaoh. In the earlier days, when Moses came in, he came into the cities to build the cities. And when he came in, he was with cities. The thing about Pharaoh, the name of Pharaoh, is something to do with stopping all the firstborn. Now, the thing about Ramses is Ramses actually does usually, in most cases, sometimes lets them through. And sometimes not. See, Moses, right? If Moses had to show up at the pharmacy and say, you know, Moses' mother said, look, Moses was born. The Ramses didn't stop Moses from being born. Do you know what I'm saying? Moses didn't stop Ramses from being born. It's a little silly to see 500,000 people, or just in general, about 400 or 500 people who joined the channel, yet there's nobody chatting and everybody says joined. What does that mean, these certain dots here? What does that mean? Join. What is this? Joined over here. What is that? Join. Just let me take a little bit of sip of this. So now we know it begins at 4th and ends at 20th. But before I go, I was explaining before how we get 4 6s but only 1 8 88. I'm going to show you it right here. I'm also going to show you, I think I showed you this piece already. Venus is part of that system. And the Venus comes together, okay? Everything comes together in Pluto. Okay, let me just... Okay, now what was... Oh, yes, okay. So here's the basic star system. Here's the multiplication, and here's the addition. Here's the multiplication and part of the addition. And here's the multiplication and another part. And here's the addition. And then here again is the addition. So you saw, right, that from this 8 star, we can create 1, 2, 3, 4 stars. The thing about this is all I have to do to this, right, is to do this, to change it. The reason for that is you see the line going down here or the line going up here, right? If you take a look, okay, see the way this is like this? Now it's like this. The only thing that switched like this is this line here or that straight line here. When it comes over to the 3, you can see the 3 going up here. When the 3 goes up this way, the 5 or the 2 is up. If the 5 is up and the 3 is in the accent going up or the accent going down, we use the accent going up. We have a total of 19. This is the coming together of 9, 11. The reason for that is 3, 6, 4, and 1 will create 14 plus 5 is 19 and 2 on the bottom for 21. 2 and 19. That's going to come together at the moon because 13 or 1 times 3 equals to 3. 1 plus 3 equals to 4. 4 by 3 equals to 12. 3 plus 4 equals to 7. 7 and 12 equals to 19. These are two systems. You're bringing together the 1, 8 equals to 9. The 2 and 7 equals to 9. The 3 and 6 equals to 9. The 4 and 5 equals to 9. To where the crossover comes at, where is 2 and 9 equals to 11. To where 3 and 8 equals to 11. To where 4 and 7 equals to 11. And 5 and 6 equals to 11. So you can see in this one, I went up to 9, I. Here, I went down to 1, A, where the AI system comes together in 9 equals to Let's mark the word 9. And the word 9 is 42. Crisscross this, slash 28. I repeated the letter. When we go over to 11, it equals to 63. See how perfect they are? 2 times 21, 3 times 21. This is the complete. 3 cubes will make up this. But 2 9s will make up the completion of the cycle. Why is that? 21 times 4 equals to 84, which is 3 by 28, which is 3 cycles of the moon to equal to 84. Because we run in the cycle of what is Pluto, the numeric value for Pluto is 84. 1/3 and 2/3. Our Mars moon creation looks like this. This is hockey. Let's look at it as hockey. It works at 120. When I add up 1 through 15, it equals to that 120. If I add up 1 to 20, it equals to 210. When that comes in, your dice cube will be looking like this. When you add up 2 through 6, right, it equals to 20 because the 1 is missing. When you add up the other side, 1 through 5, it equals to 15. So the 1 is missing here and the 6 is missing here in order to create these two. And look at that, the same results. This will be the game of pool. This will be the game of darts. Inside the game of pool, the 8 ball separates everything. There's 15. Inside the game of darts, it's separated by the center core. And in darts, you get a 3 and 2 and 1 value in your numbers. Plus you get to go to the bullseye. Why is it 1/3 and 2/3? It's 1/3 and 2/3 because it is, just give me 1 second. Yes, because when you add up 4 and 12, 4 and 8 equaling to 12, right? 4 will be 1/3, and then 8, right, of 12 will be 2/3. The numeric value for Pluto is 84, which is 6 times 12 equals to 72, but 7 times 12 equals to 84 inside the house of bait of Pluto. Mars 6, Earth 7. That's the way it works. You want to go for, if you want to play football, if you have 72 inches, you're going to have 2 yards. If you go 84 inches, you're going to have 2 yards and a foot. This also calculates, right, to a 3. So it would be 21. This one will calculate to a 3. It'll be 18. So it'll be 4 by 18 equals to 72. And this will be 21. It'll be 4 times 21 equaling to this. 18 and 21 invert to each other. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. The difference between 18 and 21 is when you're measuring for 360 degrees, everything stops at the 180. Your next count begins at 21. So we figured out this. So here is 888. Also on the low side, equaling to 45. Where do I get these numbers from? Right over here. Your base value, adding up all these numbers in where this, 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 and this cross. All these numbers equal to 45, but when you cross them all, you'll be crossing the center, right? 4 times. You only need to count once, but we'll cross that center 4 times. We're going to count it 3 extra times because you have to count it once. And that'll be 15, and that might answer the question to the 60 seconds on the clock. If you want to show the 888, I think I'll jump into this now and just show you. Just 1 second. I want to see which page I should jump onto. Yeah, did I mention to you, yes, we were talking about the ATM. I just want to finish with the ATM for a second. Right. I was talking about the ATM, right? Q and Z. It just so happens that HQZ, which looks like headquarters, is 8 and 17 and 26 equals to 51. So does this. And inside of this, it says Ram Bélier, also noted to be the first zodiac sign, the Ram. Not only is it the first zodiac sign, right, but I like to sometimes look at the goat, right, which is the 9th zodiac sign in this Chinese zodiac, and that's our birth into the house of DC, Earth and Mars coming together. Here's your Mars. Here's your Earth and Mars by placement of the planets, where ABC to one side, and then you get the reverse side of 3 inside 4. 3 and 4, 7. Your birth is 9. We never play 9. We never go more than 7. And what happens over here is that the Q gets removed. The Q gets removed from the ATM. On the ATM, do I have a picture over here? Let me see if I have a picture of the ATM. Just one second. Okay, I got it over here. So we have the ATM over here. And if you take a look in the corner, you have Q and Z. And they were removed over here. Q was removed from number 7, and Z was removed from number 9. Now the thing about that is 17, 18, and 19. Right? Then we're going to go to 51, 54, and 57. I'm jumping over a few things, making it short, in which these numbers relate to Mars, the Sun, and the Moon. Also to note that Mars, right, 51, is the reverse of what is Moon, 57. The alphabet reverse is based on 27. So every letter you have here is 27, equals to 4 times equals to 108, or what is 3 times 36? Remember that 360 degrees equals to what is 108. It's ironic that the octagon is 8. It's ironic that it's in the 10th month. It's ironic that 1 and 8 happen to come together as 9, as the 1 centers to all of 8, and it becomes whatever that value is, 1.25 times 8 equals to 10, because all the crisscrossing of the numbers are 10. What is this? 1 and 6, 7, 4 and 9, 13. 1 and 6, 7, 4 and 9, 13, but I did it a different way. I'm going to show you this after, why all these are done differently, right? This runs to the cycle of the Mayans, 7 and 13, creates these blocks. So we have that over here. Now what happens over here is in French, they're going to say 10 and 7. But I'm a child of the Creator, not so smart, but very smart. I don't want to take anything for granted. I don't know if it's an addition or if it's a subtraction. And then the same thing with the 8 and the same thing with the 9. So if it's a subtraction, it shows me 19 as being A, 18 as being B, 17 as being C. If 17 is being C, I know my creation comes in Mars. I know the house of Bait, right, or the B house with the 7th gate, comes in Chai 18, right? And this would be the numeric value that sits with the Sun. And if I know my separation to everything, what sits in between everything, I know is the AI, and this one over here is going to be the Moon. And then you have your 7, 8, 9. So like I showed you, your 7 is over here, your 8 is over here, and your 9 is over here. Your 5 connects over here. And your 6 and 6 connect over here. 6, 7, 6, 19, bringing together the E world for E-I-E-I-O. E-I-E-I-O. So this is what's happening for 17, 18, and 19. Not only that, it's that in... let me just fix that a bit. In French, right? In French, when they get to 70 and 90, they sort of say it the same way, but not 80. So again, we're bringing 7 and 9 together, the seventh dividing gate. We also have to remember that when we play games, what are the odds given to this? The odds with certain numbers tell you 7 out. It's the come out roll. You're coming on. You're in the field. You get it the hard ways. The 2-to-1 payout or 9-to-5 payout, or the EI, is the 4 and 10. That's your communication of Earth. 52 and 52 is 104. 25 and 25 is 50. 2 and 5, 25 years to life. Earth's heart and Jack equals to 25. The 52 cards in the deck, you have 2 decks, 104. You have 52 weeks in a year. We run in cycles of 3 years, giving us 156. It just so happens that 156, right? We have 156 weeks. Well, we have 156 sides in this cube. There's 156 sides in this cube. If this was Rubik's Cube, it would be broken down like this. There will be 26 of these. And when you multiply 26 times 6, it equals to 156. And that's going to be the Bat's Mitzvah, the quarter life of Mars. 51 is Mars, the quarter life. I look at it the other way, as 15 goes into 60 4 times. And then if you want, we can turn it upside down and go 951. Born into the born into the Mars cycle, or whatever Mars is centered to that heaven, is intercepted that location. And it's also male. It's also male. Blue and male. Blue for the boys. The other thing I spoke about is that when you have HQZ, the reverse of 8 is 6. And when you write down your 6 in this, right, it'll be FOX 666 to what is 888. To what is 666 to what is 888? Fox headquarters. Remember, 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 divides the gate. We already went over with the basics of the numbers. So now I'm going to go to my last piece over here, right? And I'm just going to explain basically the quick star system setup. And that star system setup is going to come from the basic house. Here's the first house of alpha. 1. Well, there's a mistake in there. I did that again, right? So where's my... Just let me 1 second. I thought I had my stuff to... So let me fix this here. 1 second. 1, 10, 19, 28, 37, 46, 55, 64, 73, 82. 1, 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 plus 9 is 10. 2 plus 8 is 10. 3 plus 7 is 10. I understand that 1 and 2 come from the other side, not from this side. 1 and 2, they only come to this side when they come as 3. So your silver and your gold. Well, I didn't spell that right? Silver, gold, and bronze. Somehow when they're putting everything together, right? Your XO. Just to note that your X and your O are both 66, and that's what brings 57 together. And like I explained a few minutes ago, to where the 13 equals to 7 and the 12 equals to 5. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 is 4 and 3 is 7. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 is 3 and 2, 5. I use this for the male, and the reason I use it at the beginning, but it does change, and this one I use for the female, just like in plumbing and electric, right? That's all I'm using it for. The bar mitzvah and the bat's mitzvah. The repetitive of number 13 is everything starts over in the zodiac sign at 13. It becomes 1, and then 13, and then 25, and then 37, and then 49, and then 61, and then 73. So the zodiac sign would be 14714711. Running with this cycle here, and our cycle is like this. 7 months of 31 days, 4 months of 30 days, 1 month of the Valentine's Day. Happens for 3 years in a row. When we get, that's the first one. If we wanted to go over to number 2, it'll be 2, it'll be 14, it'll be 26, it'll be 38, it'll be 50, it'll be 62, and this will be 258, 258. So we know that what the cycles are, right? And we take a look and we see it over here. 147, 258. Now, what's special about this is anything divided by 7 will only equal 147 or 258, but never 369. I'm talking to the decimal point. There's a difference between amateur and pro or professional, but I'm not going to get into that now. Even in the word babe, 2 worlds coming together, the B with the A and the B with the E. The spirit in the center, the divided world of spirit, and inside the E world. That E brings in the I birth, E-I-E-I-O. That brings in the I birth in E, the 2 cubes that come together inside what is I9 is E5. But it's one world, and then what's going to be the other world, 1, 4, and 2, 3, after the death before the Christ, right? So I'm just going to go on. So here are the separate houses. Here's the second house, 2 and 11. 1 and 1 is 2. Any one of these will add up to 11 and then 2. My question is, should I have designed it this way? Everything stops on 11. I don't have a 12. I have to go start over again for my 12th. I don't want to go to 100. I don't know what's going to happen. So when I get to my 12th, I now get to my 3rd world. Should I be doing it? Should I be continuing on by 1 again? And what this is every time you add up 9, you bring your cycle back. Every time you add up 10, you jump 1. When you add up 9, right, you come back to the beginning. You return to beginning. When you go up 10, you go up 1. When you go to 11, you go up 2. Now this is your basic creation, 1 and 2. When you go to 12, this is your creation. You're up 3. Meaning when you go forward, right, when you go forward by 12, you're going to go advance by 3 numbers. Let me show you. 14 plus 12 equals to 26. 2 plus 6 equals to 8, right? 1 plus 4, where we began, equals to 5. The difference is 3. So this is our creation world. We end up with 12. And since we have 5 elements, we have to go 60 years in order to do this. 6 days of creation. And what happened? What was this? In French, this means east. This is to the right side and represents 18 as the 18th letter. Also represents 36918. S and T also represents the E world of the spirit. Also, S and T is 39 for angel. 39 for angel. Right? But you know what's funny? I like this one. Because in French it says golden angel. That's number 60. Our 10 birth of 6. Remember, 1, 10, and 100. 100% of something is only 1. 1000% of something is 10, and that's where this number comes in. M1000. So we saw where we went with this. We see where we're going with this. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to use the first base formation. But before I do that, I want to tell you that in the first house, these are all going to be different than these. These are not the same. In games, they separate the even numbers from the odd numbers, and they use the 10, okay, as an even number. Remember, I add up to a single digit, so although you see this as 11 odd, it's in the 2 house. Although you see the odd and the even, the odd and the even, the odd and the even, and that's all in the 2 house. If you go to 3, right, look, even, 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 odd, 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 even, even. They're all telling different stories. In the 4th house, even, even. Look at that. It's the only one that's even, even. Odd, even, odd, 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 even, the only one that's even, even. You go into the 5th house. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you what happens in the 4 houses over here. And this is where the star comes in. There's many ways to run the star. And another thing I just wanted to show you, because I don't have it in here, is that okay, in here, you see, we see this, right? Right? But I'm going to turn the calculator like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 1, 4, 7, 8, 9, 6, 3, 2, 5. Right? And if I want, I can turn it again. And if I turn this again, right, I can go 1, 4, 7, 8, 9, 6, 3, 2, 5. And it turns. Right? This is not the same as the telephone, right? As it is the ATM. If you notice, on the phone, it turns differently. Therefore, we might be working with something like this, and we're not seeing right through it. But if we did, the numbers would look like that, but we're not. Unless I got that mirror back. So anyways, this is what happens to the numbers. Another thing funny about the numbers, right? So we're going to put it in here. 58, 62, 90, 86, 82, 74, 66, 78, and 70. This is not a magic trick. This is exactly what I just showed you before. A lot of people joining saying hi. Hey, Ernest, I see you came back. I don't know who else is here. Hey, Peter, don't know who's real. According to TikTok, they had told me that there's a lot of people that are not real, right? So what this is, I'm going to show you this. I'm going to do it again. It's got to be done 3 times, right? 5 and 8 is 13. 6 and 2 is 8. 6 and 6 is 12. 7. 7 and 4, 11. 7 and 8, 15. 8 and 2, 10. 8 and 6, 14. And 9. When I add up this number and this number and this number, I get 222. When I add up this number, and this number, I get 222. When I add up these 3 numbers, I get 222. And these numbers, 222. So what I did is I added up all these numbers. And the total of this is 888. So if I use this star, I'm not using this. So this one will be 666. But I'm not using, right? I'm not using B, E, and H. And then if I use this star, I'm not using, it's 666, and I'm not using the Fed. And if I use this star, right, I'm not using C, E, and G. And this will be 666. And if I create this star over here, this one over here, I'm not using A, E, and I. A, E, and I, 666. So these are all one way. If I go 2 ways, it'll be 1332. 1332, 1/3 and 2/3. 1332, right? Pluto, right? We have the center here, and then we have Pluto, and then everything else is inside the Kuiper belt, keeping everything nice and cool on the outside for the computers, for the fleshy robotics. Now what's this? When we connect this and this, it equals to 148. When I add this to this, it equals to 148 and then 148. So when we have 3 times 148, 3 times 148 equals to 444. Plus we want to count 1 times 74 equals to 518. So we can see that within Mars we are in the heavens of Venus. 4 times 2, creating Venus, dividing that gateway for Mars, numeric value 51. And where 432 vibration is, remember we have to use all the numbers, where the one spirit is residing inside the 8 heaven. See that? We see that right over here, 1 and 8 coming together. 9 numbers, right? So we get 518. So now what we're going to do is now we're going to come over and over here. 13 and 9, 22. 10 and 12, 22. 8 and 14, 22. 15 and 7, 22. 4 by 22 equals 88. The word TRUMP, 88. Window, 88. Pegasus, 88. In the constellation of Andromeda, right? Andromeda, DNA. Constellation Andromeda. NGC 7286. Now, if I add in the 11 to any crossing of 22, I automatically have 33. Now, if I take 3, if I create a star out of it, right? If I create a star out of it, I'll end up with 3 by 33, equaling to 99. Jupiter 13, right? Jupiter X 13. If I take 3 of these, and then the center, right? I take that, and that, and that, and that, and then that, and that, right? Which is here, and here, and here, and only count this one time for the one time that it is, I end up with 77, and that is power. It's also matter. It's also this word over here. This word over here. 77 and 33 is Christmas. That's right. 77 and 33 is 110. It's the rooster at the top. What does the rooster stand for? 5 a.m. SAM, mass 33, rotation in the sun. Those who know the controller following the moon know exactly what's going on between the Earth, the sun, the moon, Mars, Venus. They know exactly what's going on. If you want to see, look at this as Mecca, this cube over here. The reason why you pray to it because of its power, the knowledge hidden inside of this. Anyways, I didn't do much of the alphabet right now, but I showed you where 33 came from, where 666, where 888 comes from, the star system. Noted that, again, 432, and we still have Roman numerals to do. We have a whole lot more to do, but I want to thank you for joining me. I want to thank you for being here. You want to help out the channel. I want to see, am I allowed to? No, I'm not allowed to post anything other than Mr. Tackpants buy me a coffee if you can help me out. I need to buy a whole lot more books, and I got to survive. And I think that once we understand that the good Lord left the information hidden right in front of us as the children of creation, until we reach that magic age to break out of this cube at 18, and we learned alter realities, and we can no longer distinguish between what is real and what is not. Just one little image to show you is I have this part here and this part here looking like 2 hearts. This part is open. I enveloped this part over here that was once open and free space. When I brought these 2 together, it closed this area space up. This area space belongs to the outside ocean. It also creates that cube or a passageway between the oceans over here. These are the 2 hearts. See inside the hexagon over here, the 6 star. There's different stories that are going on. The same way there's different stories going on with, just want to show you this one piece over here. 2 and 5, 7, 4 and 3, 7, 1 and 6, 7, The invert is 5 and 8, 13. So when you have 7, your invert to 7 is 13. This one over here is where your 2, 7, 1, 8, 4, 5, 9, 3, 6, 9 come in. And then you have the invert to it. We also have to understand that when we're playing chess, 2 numbers, down 1. I'm going to show you this over here before I go really quick. I know most of the people won't be here next time to see half this stuff. So I'm just going to show this very quick before I end the video. Here we'll do this. Roman numerals. When you add it up, it's 1666. When you add up all the Roman numerals, or 5 divided by 3, 1.666. 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, 1. Our birth in rotation of 432. Love, everything goes by 2 with love, 3, 6, 4, 5. They're doubled on the cube. Inside of this, we go over and down. Down 2, over 1. Over 2, down 1, creating 7 and 9. Over here, we go down 2, over 1. Over 2, down 1, creating 11 and 7. I'm going to get into this a little bit more in the next video, what's going on. And this one over here, it's 8, up 2, over 1, up 2, over 1, up 2, 8 and 3, 11, 8 and 1, 9. Over here, we use the 7, over 2, up 1, up 2, over 1. This has to do with the chess pieces, what we can do, what we're not allowed to do. The rules and regulations are in the games, all the games that we play. 7 and 6, 13, 7, 2, 9, as 4 and 3, 7 and 4 and 9, 13. In this section over here, I changed the position of all the numbers, like the Sudoku. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. And box number 6 is 3. 6 times 2 is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. And box number 7 is 5. 7 times 2 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5. This is how I come up with all these. In this box over here, over 2, down 1, down 2, over 1. And now I get the 7. Why? Because I changed the formation. I'm working in the second house. I call it the numeric shuffle. And it always works out perfect. I'm not going to go ahead and do all the math, but I would let you see a little bit that I've designed it all over the place. Another brick on the wall. We're living in the signal testing area. 20% of 5 is 1, 1 minus, 1 plus, FED. In the house of the Federation, deaf, dumb, and blind. It doesn't listen. It's following. It's moving on. We're coming to the end cycle. We're in the end cycle. The Hebrew year is 5784, or what is 1928. In 1929, what happened? Why do I say this? This is the reason. 3 times to bring formation times 19 equals to 57. 3 times bringing formation 228 equals to 84. The Hebrew year is 5784. 57 noted to be the electric moon. 4884 is the word sun, and Pluto, which runs the cycles of that moon through man and Mars. I'm not going to get into everything now. It's impossible to bring 20 years of studies to the table. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions or you want to check out any of my other videos, that I'd be honored. Check me out on either on here on TikTok or on YouTube, Odyssey, Rumble. I go under different names. I have 1 or 2 different names. One of the names is ABCEHMU. That's ABCEMHMU. And where do I get that from? I get that from the Fibonacci counting. That's where I get that from. And everything comes out of sports, numbers, anyways, whatever it is. Peace and love. I'm out for now. Ciao. Love. Oh, tired. Time for bed. Got to wake up in the morning. Another day. And the only way is to reset the system by understanding that the good Lord has shared everything with us. I would like to create a program that we can put all the equations down with the alphabet and words and invite other people who know about the zodiac, astrology, other numerology, different things about the Bibles, because whether it's true or false, the story still comes out of us. And if that story comes out of us, it's telling an alternative story to the skull and the bones of this entirety. Skull meaning dot and bone meaning line. Connect the dot and the dashes to understand what everything looks like. Peace. Thank you for watching.